Book 16. Father and Son. But there were two men in the mountain hut, Odysseus and the swineherd. At first light blowing their fire up, they cooked their breakfast and sent their lads out, driving herds to root in the tall timber. When Telemachus came, the wolvish troop of watchdogs only fawned on him as he advanced. Odysseus heard them go and heard the light crunch of a man's footfall, at which he turned quickly to say, "Eumaeus, here is one of your crew come back, or maybe another friend. The dogs are out there snuffling belly down. Not one has even growled. I can hear footsteps." But before he finished, his tall son stood at the door. The swineherd rose in surprise, letting a bowl and jug tumble from his fingers. Going forward, he kissed the young man's head, his shining eyes in both hands, while his own tears brimmed and fell. Think of a man whose dear and only son, born to him in exile, reared with labor, has lived 10 years abroad and now returns. How would that man embrace his son? Just so the herdsman clapped his arms around Telemachus and covered him with kisses, for he knew the land had got away from death. He said, "Light of my days, Telemachus, you made it back. When you took ship for Pylos, I never thought to see you here again. Come in, dear child, and let me feast my eyes. Here you are, home from the distant places. How rarely, anyway, you visit us, your own men, in your own woods and pastures. Always in the town, a man would think you loved the suitors' company, those dogs." Telemachus, with his clear candor, said, "I am with you, uncle. See now, I have come because I wanted to see you first, to hear from you. If mother stayed at home, or she married off to someone and Odysseus' bed left empty for some gloomy spider's weaving." Gently the forester replied to this, "At home indeed your mother is, poor lady, still in the women's hall. Her nights and days are wearied out with grieving." Stepping back, he took the bronze-shod lance, and the young prince entered the cabin over the worn door stone. Odysseus moved aside, yielding his couch, but from across the room Telemachus checked him. "Friend, sit down. We'll find another chair in our own hut. Here is the man to make one." The swineherd, when the quiet man sank down, built a new pile of evergreens and fleeces, a couch for the dear son of great Odysseus. Then gave them trenchers of good meat, left over from the roast pork of yesterday, and heaped up willow baskets full of bread, and mixed an ivy bowl of honey-hearted wine. Then he in turn sat down, facing Odysseus. Their hands went out upon the meat and drink as they fell to, ridding themselves of hunger, until Telemachus paused and said, "Oh, uncle, what's your friend's home port? How did he come? Who were the sailors brought him here to Ithaca? I doubt if he came walking on the sea." And you replied, Eumaeus, O my swineherd, "Son, the truth about him is soon told. His homeland, and a broad land too, is Crete. But he has knocked about the world, he says, for years as the powers wove his life. Just now he broke away from a shipload of Thesprotians to reach my hut. I place him in your hands. Act as you will. He wishes your protection." The young man said, "Eumaeus, my protection? The notion cuts me to the heart. How can I receive your friend at home? I'm not old enough or trained in arms. Could I defend myself if someone picked a fight with me? Besides, mother is in a quandary, whether to stay with me as mistress of our household, honoring her lord's bed and opinion in the town, or take the best Achaean who comes her way, the one who offers most. I'll undertake at all events to clothe your friend for winter, now he is with you. Tunic and cloak of wool, a good broadsword and sandals. These are his. I can arrange to send him where he likes, or you may keep him in your cabin here. I shall have bread and wine sent up. You need not feel any pinch on his behalf. Impossible to let him stay in hall among the suitors. They are drunk on impetus. They might injure my guest, and how could I bear that? How could a simple man take on these odds? Not even a hero could. The suitors are too strong." At this, the noble and enduring man Odysseus addressed his son. "Kind prince, it may be fitting for me to speak a word. All that you say gives me an inward wound as I sit listening. I mean this wanton game they play, these fellows, riding roughshod over you in your own house, admirable as you are. But tell me, are you resigned to being bled? The townsmen stirred up against you, are they, by some oracle? Your brothers, can you say your brothers fail you? A man should feel his kin, at least, behind him in any clash, when a real fight is coming. If my heart were as young as yours, if I were son to Odysseus or the man himself, I'd rather have my head cut from my shoulders by some slashing adversary if I brought no hurt upon that crew. Suppose I went down, being alone, before the lot. Better, I say, to die at home in battle, than see these insupportable things, day after day the stranger cuffed, the women slaves dragged here and there, shame in the lovely rooms, the wine drunk up in rivers, sheer waste of pointless feasting never at an end." Telemachus replied, "Friend, I'll explain to you. There is no rancor in the town against me, no fault of brothers, whom a man should feel behind him when a fight is in the making. No, in our family the firstborn of heaven, Zeus, made single sons the rule. Archesius had but one, Laertes. He in his turn fathered only one, Odysseus, who left me in his hall alone, too young to be of any use to him. And so you see why enemies fill our house in these days. All the princes of the islands, Dulichion, Same, wooded Zakynthos, Ithaca too, lords of our island rock, eating our house up as they court my mother. She cannot put an end to it. She dare not bar the marriage that she hates. And they devour all my substance and my cattle, and who knows when they'll slaughter me as well. It rests upon the gods' great knees. Uncle, go down at once and tell the lady Penelope that I am back from Pylos, safe and sound. I stay here meanwhile. You will give your message and then return. Let none of the Achaeans hear it. They have a mind to do me harm. To this, Eumaeus, you replied, I know, but make this clear now. Should I not likewise call in Laertes with your news? Hard hit by sorrow though he was, mourning Odysseus, he used to keep an eye upon his farm. He had what meals he pleased with his own folk, but now no more, not since you sailed for Pylos. He has not taken food or drink, I hear, sitting all day, blind to the work of harvest, groaning while the skin shrinks on his bones. Telemachus answered, One more misery, but we had better leave it so. If men could choose and have their choice in everything, we'd have my father home. Turn back when you have done your errand, as you must, not to be caught alone in the countryside. But wait, you may tell mother to send her old housekeeper on the quiet and quickly. She can tell the news to grandfather. The swineherd, roused, reached out to get his sandals, tied them on, and took the road. Who else beheld this but Athena? From the air she walked, taking the form of a tall woman, handsome and clever at her craft, and stood beyond the gate in plain sight of Odysseus, unseen, though, by Telemachus, unguessed, for not to everyone will gods appear. Odysseus noticed her, so did the dogs who cowered whimpering away from her. She only nodded, signing to him with her brows, a sign he recognized. Crossing the yard, he passed out through the gate in the stockade to face the goddess. There she said to him, Son of Laertes and the gods of old, Odysseus, master of landways and seaways, dissemble to your son no longer now. The time is come. Tell him how you together will bring doom on the suitors in the town. I shall not be far distant then, for I myself desire battle. Saying no more, she tipped her golden wand upon the man, making his cloak pure white and the knit tunic fresh around him. Lithe and young she made him, ruddy with sun, his jawline clean, the beard no longer grew upon his chin. And she withdrew when she had done. Then Lord Odysseus reappeared, and his son was thunderstruck. Fear in his eyes, he looked down and away, as though he were a god, and whispered, Stranger, you are no longer what you were just now. Your cloak is new, even your skin. You are one of the gods who rule the sweep of heaven. Be kind to us. We'll make you fair oblation and gifts of hammered gold. Have mercy on us. The noble and enduring man replied, No god. Why take me for a god? No, no. I am that father whom your boyhood lacked and suffered pain for lack of. I am he. Held back too long, the tears ran down his cheeks as he embraced his son. Only Telemachus, uncomprehending, wild with incredulity, cried out, You cannot be my father, Odysseus. Meddling spirits conceived this trick to twist the knife in me. No man of woman born could work these wonders by his own craft, unless a god came into it with ease to turn him young or old at will. I swear you were in rags and old, and here you stand like one of the immortals. Odysseus brought his ranging mind to bear, and said, This is not princely, to be swept away by wonder at your father's presence. No other Odysseus will ever come, for he and I are one, the same. His bitter fortune and his wanderings are mine. 20 years gone, and I am back again on my own island. As for my change of skin, that is a charm Athena, hope of soldiers, uses as she will. She has the knack to make me seem a beggar man sometimes, and sometimes young, with finer clothes about me. It is no hard thing for the gods of heaven to glorify a man or bring him low. When he had spoken, down he sat. Then throwing his arms around this marvel of a father, Telemachus began to weep. Salt tears rose from the wells of longing in both men, and cries burst from both as keen and fluttering as those of the great taloned hawk, whose nestlings farmers take before they fly. So helplessly they cried, pouring out tears, and might have gone on weeping so till sundown, had not Telemachus said, Dear father, tell me what kind of vessel put you here ashore in Ithaca? Your sailors, who were they? I doubt you made it walking on the sea. Then said Odysseus, who had borne the barren sea, Only plain truth shall I tell you, child. Great seafarers, the Phaeacians, gave me passage as they give other wanderers. By night over the open ocean while I slept, they brought me in their cutter, set me down in Ithaca, with gifts of bronze and gold and stores of woven things. By the gods' will, these lie all hidden in a cave. I came to this wild place, directed by Athena, so that we might lay plans to kill our enemies. Count up the suitors for me. Let me know what men-at-arms are there. How many men? I must put all my mind to it, to see if we two by ourselves can take them on, or if we should look round for help. Telemachus replied, "O father, all my life your fame as a fighting man has echoed in my ears. Your skill with weapons are the tricks of war. But what you speak of is a staggering thing, beyond imagining for me. How can 2 men do battle with a houseful in their prime? For I must tell you, this is no affair of 10 or even twice 10 men, but scores, throngs of them. You shall see here and now. The number from Dulichion alone is 52 picked men with armorers, a half dozen. 24 came from Same, 20 from Zakynthos. Our own island accounts for 12, high-ranked and their retainers, men on the crier and the master harper, besides a pair of handymen at feasts. If we go in against all these, I fear we pay in salt blood for your vengeance. You must think it hard if you would conjure up the fighting strength to take us through." Odysseus, who had endured the long war and the sea, answered, "I'll tell you now. Suppose Athena's arm is over us, and Zeus her father's. Must I rack my brains for more?" Clear-headed Telemachus looked hard and said, "Those 2 are great defenders, no one doubts it. But thrown in the serene clouds overhead, other affairs of men and gods they have to rule over." And the hero answered, "Before long they will stand to right and left of us in combat, in the shouting when the test comes. Our nerve against the suitors in my hall. Here is your part. At break of day tomorrow, home with you. Go mingle with our princes. The swineherd later on will take me down the port side trail, a beggar by my looks, hangdog and old. If they make fun of me in my own courtyard, let your ribs cage up your springing heart, no matter what I suffer, no matter if they pull me by the heels or practice shots at me to drive me out. Look on, hold down your anger. You may even plead with them by heaven, in gentle terms to quit their horseplay. Not that they will heed you, rash as they are, facing their day of wrath. Now fix the next step in your mind. Athena, counseling me, will give me word, and I shall signal to you, nodding. At that point round up all armor, lances, gear of war left in our hall, and stow the lot away back in the vaulted storeroom. When the suitors miss those arms and question you, be soft in what you say. Answer, I thought I'd move them out of the smoke. They seem no longer those bright arms Odysseus left us years ago when he went off to Troy. Here where the fire's hot breath came, they had grown black and drear. One better reason, too, I had from Zeus. Suppose a brawl starts up when you are drunk. You might be crazed and bloody one another, and that would stain your feast, your courtship. Tempered iron can magnetize a man. Say that. But put aside 2 broadswords and 2 spears for our own use. 2 oxhide shields nearby when we go into action. Pallas Athena and Zeus all-provident will see you through, bemusing our young friends. Now one thing more. If son of mine you are and blood of mine, let no one hear Odysseus is about. Neither Laertes nor the swineherd here. Nor any slave, nor even Penelope. You and I alone must learn how far the women are corrupted. We should know how to locate good men among our hands, the loyal and respectful, and the shirkers who take you lightly as alone and young. His admirable son replied, Father, even when danger comes, I think you'll find courage in me. I am not scattered-brained. But as to checking on the field hands now, I see no gain for us in that. Reflect, you make a long toil that way, if you care to look men in the eye at every farm. While these gay devils in our hall at ease eat up our flocks and herds, leaving us nothing. As for the maids, I say, yes, make distinction between good girls and those who shame your house. All that I shy away from is the scrutiny of cottagers just now. The time for that comes later, if in truth you have a sign from Zeus the Storm King. So their talk ran on, while down the coast and round toward Ithaca hove the good ship that had gone out to Pylos, bearing Telemachus and his companions. Into the wide bay waters, onto the dark land they drove her, hauled her up, took out the oars and canvas for light-hearted squires to carry homeward, as they carried too the gifts of Menelaus round to Clytios' house. But first they sped a runner to Penelope. They knew that quiet lady must be told the prince her son had come ashore, and sent his good ship round to port. Not one soft tear should their sweet queen let fall. Both messengers, crewman and swineherd, reached the outer gate in the same instant, bearing the same news, and went in side by side to the king's hall. He of the ship burst out among the maids, Your son's ashore this morning, O my queen! But the swineherd calmly stood near Penelope, whispering what her son had bade him tell, and what he had enjoined on her. No more. When he had done, he left the place and turned back to his steading in the hills. By now, sullen confusion weighed upon the suitors. Out of the house, out of the court they went, beyond the wall and gate, to sit in council. Eurymachus, the son of Polybus, opened discussion. Friends, face up to it. That young pup Telemachus has done it. He made the round trip, though we said he could not. Well, now, to get the best craft we can find afloat with oarsmen who could drench their bows and tell those on the island to come home. He was yet speaking when Amphinomus, craning seaward, spotted the picket ship already in the roadstead under oars with canvas brailed up, and this fresh arrival made him chuckle. Then he told his friends, too late for messages, "Look, here they come along the bay. Some god has brought them news, or else they saw the cutter pass and could not overtake her." On their feet at once, the suitors took the road to the sea beach, where meeting the black ship, they hauled her in. Oars and gear they left for their light-hearted squires to carry, and all in company made off for the assembly ground. All others, young and old alike, they barred from sitting. Eupeithus' son, Antinous, made the speech. "How the gods let our man escape a boarding, that is the wonder. We had lookouts posted up on the heights all day in the sea wind, and every hour a fresh pair of eyes. At night we never slept ashore, but after sundown cruised the open water to the southeast, patrolling until dawn. We were prepared to cut him off and catch him, squelch him for good and all. The power of heaven steered him the long way home. Well, let this company plan his destruction and leave him no way out this time. I see our business here unfinished while he lives. He knows now, and he's no fool. Besides, his people are all tired of playing up to us. I say act now, before he brings the whole body of Achaeans to assembly, and he would leave no word unsaid in righteous anger speaking out before them all of how we plotted murder and then missed him. Will they commend us for that pretty work? Take action now, or we are in for trouble. We might be exiled, driven off our lands. Let the first blow be ours. If we move first and get our hands on him far from the city's eye, on path or field, then stores and livestock will be ours to share. The house we may confer upon his mother, and on the man who marries her. Decide otherwise you may, but if, my friends, you want that boy to live and have his patrimony, then we should eat no more of his good mutton, come to this place no more. Let each from his own hall court her with dower gifts, and let her marry the destined one, the one who offers most." He ended, and no sound was heard among them, sitting all hushed, until at last the son of Nisos, Aretiades, arose, and Phenomos. He led the group of suitors who came from grain lands and Dulichian, and he had lightness in his talk that pleased Penelope, for he meant no ill. Now in concern for them he spoke, "O friends, I should not like to kill Telemachus. It is a shivery thing to kill a prince of royal blood. We should consult the gods. If Zeus hands down a ruling for that act, then I shall say, come one, come all, and go cut him down with my own hand. But I say halt if gods are contrary." Now this proposal won them, and it carried. Breaking their session up, away they went to take their smooth chairs in Odysseus' house. Meanwhile, Penelope the wise decided for her part to make appearance before the valiant young men. She knew now they plotted their child's death in her own hall, for once more Medon, who had heard them, told her. Into the hall that lovely lady came, with maids attending, and approached the suitors, till near a pillar of the well-wrought roof she paused, her shining veil across her cheeks, and spoke directly to Antinous. "Infatuate, steeped in evil. Yet in Ithaca they say you were the best one of your generation in mind and speech. Not so, you never were. Madman, why do you keep forever knitting death for Telemachus? Have you no pity toward men despondent on another's mercy? Before Lord Zeus, no sanction can be found for one such man to plot against another. Or are you not aware that your own father fled to us when the realm was up in arms against him? He had joined the Taphian pirates in ravaging Thesprotian folk, our friends. Our people would have raided him then, breached his heart, butchered his herds to feast upon. Only Odysseus took him in, and held the furious townsmen off. It is Odysseus' house you now consume, his wife you court, his son you kill or try to kill, and me you ravage now and grieve. I call upon you to make an end of it, and your friends too." The son of Polybus it was, Eurymachus, who answered her with ready speech. "My lady Penelope, wise daughter of Icarius, you must shake off these ugly thoughts. I say that man does not exist, nor will, who dares lay hands upon your son Telemachus, while I live, walk the earth and use my eyes. The man's life-blood, I swear, will spurt and run out black around my lance head. For it is true of me, too, that Odysseus, raider of cities, took me on his knees and fed me often, tidbits and red wine. Should not Telemachus therefore be dear to me above the rest of men? I tell the lad he must not tremble for his life, at least alone in the suitor's company. Heaven deals death no man avoids." Blasphemous lies in earnest tones he told, the one who planned the lad's destruction. Silently the lady made her way to her glowing upper chamber, there to weep for her dear lord Odysseus, until grey-eyed Athena cast sweet sleep upon her eyes. At fall of dusk, Odysseus and his son heard the approach of the good forester. They had been standing over the fire with a spitted pig, a yearling, and Athena coming near with one rap of her wand made of Odysseus an old man again, with rags about him, for if the swineherd knew his lord were there, he could not hold the news. Penelope would hear it from him. Now Telemachus greeted him first. "Eumaeus, back again. What was the talk in town? Are the tall suitors home again by this time from their ambush, or are they still on watch for my return? And you replied, Eumaeus, O my swineherd. There was no time to ask or talk of that. I hurried through the town. Even while I spoke my message, I felt driven to return. A runner from your friends turned up, a crier, who gave the news first to your mother. One thing I do know, with my own 2 eyes I saw it. As I climbed above the town to where the sky is cut by Hermes' ridge, I saw a ship bound in for our own bay with many oarsmen in it, laden down with sea provisioning and 2-edged spears, and I surmised those were the men. Who knows? Telemachus, now strong with magic, smiled across at his own father, but avoided the swineherd's eye. So when the pig was done, the spit no longer to be turned, the table garnished, everyone sat down to feast on all the savory flesh he craved. And when they had put off desire for meat and drink, they turned to bed and took the gift of sleep.